And it is my honor this afternoon to represent our spoken word artist. M.Michele has a story to tell. She grew up in Lithonia, Georgia, with a voracious appetite for literature and an oversized imagination. She daydreamed as easily as she breathed, but didn't start creating until she turned 10 years old. During one of Georgia's sporadic winter snowstorms, M.Michele wrote a sonnet to her snow-covered backyard and let her mother read it, and a writer was born.
My name is Anyana Rosa. I'm a photographer here at Glyco. I'm really excited about the event that we're going to. It's supposed to be Teachers Appreciation, so we'll be helping out shooting that today. And we're Miss M.Michele here, doing our portraits, so I'm really excited about how today's going to go.
M.Michele began experimenting with writing short stories and novels, but it wasn't until a teacher. Her 7th grade literature teacher introduced her to the poetry of Nikki Giovanni, did she find her calling. From that moment on, she was never too far from her poetry notebook and a pen. A normal, angst-ridden teenager, she had much to express and many emotions to put onto paper. Blessed with a gift for imagery and courageous honesty, she honed her craft over the years, but kept her pieces mostly to herself. She graced an open mic night occasionally, but never aspired to publish or produce her poetry on a large scale until she discovered artists like Floetry, J. Ivy, and Shihan, and began to realize that there was an audience for poetry and the spoken word. Through a series of fortunate events, she began recording her poetry for the first time in 2010. M.Michele has a story to tell. It is comprised of a myriad of emotions and revelations, of mistakes and lessons, of tragedy and joy. Her story is how her soul sings. Her story is her. M.Michele.
Good afternoon. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I almost got emotional. I want to take a short moment first and foremost to congratulate Ms. Joseph and Ms. Harris on their awards, and also to thank Ms. Joseph for inviting me here and giving me the opportunity to speak in front of all of you. As she said in my introduction, if it wasn't for my 7th grade literature teacher, I never would have discovered the joys of poetry. So when I tell you that the honor is completely mine, I hope you believe me. This first piece that I'm going to say is entitled Encouragement. We've reached a tipping point. Knowledge, wisdom, and empathy on one side, technology, impatience, and entitlement on the other. Who is to restore balance? In a world where hashtags have become more important than homework, where status updates have replaced social studies, and where text language has eradicated grammar, who is to bridge the gap between the future and the past? Who is to slow the descent into moral and educational atrophy? I believe that teachers have a unique opportunity to slow the descent into moral and educational atrophy. Under the responsibility of forming resistant minds who think Dewey Decimal is a cartoon character, and who think the worst disaster ever to occur is to lose internet connectivity. Under the pressure of teaching the same lesson plan again and again while still keeping it fresh. For being underrepresented, underestimated, undercompensated, and undervalued. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. Thank you. This last piece I would love to dedicate to Ms. Joseph. It's called I Aspire. I want to be like her. One day I want to look into the mirror and with pride see her eyes shining back at me. I want to be someone who disciplines hard only to love harder. Someone who is unafraid to push against the grain and who needs no justification for her own existence. Because that's what I see in her. Every day, the epitome of who I want to be. To wear my hair as an expression of my individuality. To walk and to talk. To live my life in a way that creates ripples on the stagnated pool of what we call society. I aspire to be a universal inspiration, a vacation from the status quo. I want to be someone who can carry on the legacy that she has created. I want to be me.